Ah, another one? I'll never be rid of this.
Hey guys, welcome to 35 plus things you missed in the Halo Infinite campaign trailer. Now, majority of these are gonna be actually stuff, you've probably already noticed, or very obvious things such as, oh look, Master Chief's armor is dirtier. Wow, there's a little bit more detail in the pilot's beard. Anyways, yeah, that's not gonna be this video. All right, it's gonna be stuff so obscure, so incredibly off the rail, like you would have never noticed it on your own, okay? So let's just jump right in. Number one, Cortana's toes. Sorry, that's a personal one. Just had to get that one straight up, up front and center, out of the way. Let's truly actually get to the main list. All right, number two, straight out of the bat, we have Discover Hope's 2021 improvements, and that being the Discover Hope Halo Infinite trailer that we saw way back to over 2 years ago. It's been a long time coming. It's been a long time coming. I was 19 years old when this came out, and now I'm 22. Let that settle in. What were you doing 2.5 years ago? Anyways, as you can see here, it's some side-by-side comparisons. They've actually made a pretty good amount of improvements to the pilot's suit. And just the overall clothes that he's wearing. The one thing that I wanted to take note of was the little thing that's around his neck. That kind of attaches to his vest. And they've also made some interesting lighting changes. I think some of the changes kind of detract detail, which is just, the way lighting works. Certain lighting setups are gonna exude more detail in objects and textures, whether it be in video games or real life, compared to others. But something that I've noticed is they've kind of made a big change to the depth of field use of the camera, and the camera settings throughout these shots and the cinematics. And I don't know if that is just like an artistic choice or if that's a performance choice, but if you understand cameras, and for those of you that are watching that do understand cameras and how they operate, the depth of field in the 2019 trailer was fairly shallow in majority of the shots, and now it's much deeper. In a lot of these shots, almost everything from distant objects to the pilot being right in front of the camera are all in focus. And again, I don't know if that's a performance thing or an artistic thing, but just something to kind of note in some changes that have been made. And then obviously these two shots, Chief's armor is much dirtier than the previous trailer. And he also has his grapple shot attached to his left forearm, whereas in the previous trailer he did not, for obvious reasons. All right, number three, in one of the first establishing shots at around 54 seconds, there's this sunset shot right here, and in the bottom right corner or so, you can actually see a crashed Guardian way off in the distance. And, to those of you that are like, well, how do you know it's a crashed Guardian, Josiah? Well, here's a little confirmation from Unishek himself, telling someone else that they have a good eye. So eat it, you're loser. All right, number four, in this next establishing shot of this deep, dark chasm. Is that the right word, chasm? I really don't know. I'm just kind of rolling with this. But as it speeds forward and pans upward, we can actually see what seems to be these shielded rooms. I don't know if these are holding cells or rooms you can actually break into, but nothing super important, but just a little detail that kind of flies past you. Number five, the grapple shot can be upgraded to electrocute enemies. The journey was difficult, but we made it there. As you can see here in this shot, Master Chief grapples onto the brute, and then immediately he is being electrocuted. At first glance, when I was watching this, I was like, oh, a shock grenade must have passed by. And then I saw it happen again later, and I was like, wait, is this grapple shot what? And I'm pretty sure it's one of the first upgrades you can make to the grapple shot, because as we can see here later on in the overview, in the overview video, it's got these little confusion symbols, and so that looks to be the most probable upgrade compared to the other ones. And honestly, it's just a cooler way to upgrade your grapple, other than the range is longer and the cooldown is shorter. It's interesting, makes things fun, makes you really want to grab onto them more. or something. Anyways, number 6, the radar is 59 meters. Now, I don't know if it bothers some of you as much as it does me that it's 59 meters and it's not just 60 or, I don't know, 58. Why did they have to make it an odd number? And in the upgrades screen that I'll talk about later, there is no, maybe you have to scroll down, I don't know. There is nothing indicating you can upgrade your radar, and throughout the entirety of this footage, the radar is always 59 meters. And in the 2020 gameplay premiere, if you guys remember, his radar was 31 meters. And I forgot it was 31, I just looked it up again. It's been over a year, okay, sue me. But now that I've looked up that it's 31 meters, it all bugs me even more. Why are they settling on odd numbers, all right? 25 is acceptable, and I know we all believe that's acceptable. This shouldn't bother me as much as it does, and I don't know why it is, but it's 59 meters, okay? That is a very long, that is a large range of radar, and like, cool, you know, it's a big campaign, but why 59? I need answers, all right? I need answers, stat, ASAP Rocky, please, for the love of God. Number 7, the grapple shot's cooldown is 1.5 seconds. Now, I don't know if this cooldown is the default, or I don't know if this is the already upgraded amount, because when we see the upgrade screen later on, the second upgrade you can make to your grapple shot is what seems to be a faster cooldown. As you can see, there's a little timer icon. And again, I don't know if 1.5 is the default and you can upgrade it past that, or if 1.5 is the upgraded amount. And of course, obviously, your grapple shot never truly runs out. You will always have it. It's not like multiplayer, so don't worry about that for any of you that might have been wondering. So number 8, something that we've already known about since like the 2020 reveal trailer, but I just kind of wanted to like make note of it, make it more aware of, again, to any of you that might have even not even really picked up on it. But the brutes use, or they still continue to use human weapons, which is a nice little detail. They have done that since Halo 2. I don't remember if they did it in like if they did it in Halo 3 and Halo Reach, but they have done it since Halo 2. From what I know about, it's mainly just because like they don't have like the same code of honor as elites do, where elites are like human weapons, that's heresy, you know? But obviously brutes are more brutish. They're more raw, etc. They don't really care. If they think it's gonna effectively help them more in combat, then they're gonna use them. And yeah, so I just thought that was a nice little touch. Number 9, we see this piece of little yellow intel item thing right here. And then in this next shot with the Banshee, you see it again. I'm assuming this is one of the intel or items you can collect and find around every area, or like stronghold that you'll come across to take over. I don't exactly know what it is, but we will elaborate more on that sort of stuff later. Number 10, when Master Chief jumps out of the Wasp, if you look for a split second, he's holding a sentinel beam on his back. And you're probably wondering, wow, Josiah, how is this useful to me at all? And it probably wasn't, but you probably missed it, so checkmate. All right, number 11, in this same area that we were just talking about, it seems to be like we know there's Unity vehicles here and they're kind of like using them for scraps. They're like learning about them. I don't know exactly what they're doing here, but just a little nice little note. As you can see, there's kind of like brute chopper treads or wheels, spiky thing. I don't know the proper term for them. Okay, sue me again, but just a nice little kind of, I like the aliveness of it, you know? The strongholds could have been very basic and reused or like repurposed across the entirety of the campaign. Maybe that is the case, I don't know. But just kind of seeing like they genuinely have like an objective here, and they're genuinely trying to do something, and that's showcased with the aspects of the environment of this stronghold. It shows, and it's really nice to see stuff like that, and the nice little like attention to detail. Number 12, as soon as this brute opens the door here, we can see a hologram of Atriox behind him, and then as soon as we bash him down, we can see that hologram yet again in the doorway, all the way at the end of the hallway. Obviously, we have like had no mention or visual or indications throughout really any of the marketing or anything that we've been shown that we'll even meet or battle or fight Atriox, and maybe that will happen. Who knows? I have no clue. But from what we're seeing here with like a hologram, maybe it was a message, I don't know. Or I heard someone talking about how it could be kind of like a like reminiscent of Halo 3 when the prophets would have like their propaganda messages, you know, constantly playing on like little terminals throughout the campaign and such, you know, stuff like that. So maybe it's something like that. I don't really, knowing how Atriox is, it doesn't seem like his type of behavior to be, I don't know, like sending out holographic propaganda messages to like make sure everyone is in line and, you know, make sure they're reminded of why we're all doing this. It seems more like it'd be like a message more so than what the prophets were doing. But I don't know, I could be wrong. All right, number 13, I mean, you knew it was coming. We have Craig 2.0. Just had to throw that in there. Again, sue me. Number 14, this one might be obvious, but just like as like a little like reassurance for most of you, you can carry all 4 grenade types compared to multiplayer where you can only carry 2. And you can also carry all 4 of the equipment types compared to, you know, in multiplayer where you can only carry 1. Number 15, playing off of number 14, we haven't seen the repulsor yet in the campaign. And it honestly is making me like question on whether or not it's even gonna be in the campaign, because I don't think you'll be able to drop your grapple shot. Seeing it in cover art, seeing it in cutscenes, you know, it replaces the spot of where it is on your forearm. I don't think it's gonna be in the campaign at all. The grapple shot, the threat sensor, the drop ball, and the thruster, based on what we've seen, it's okay to make assumptions that those are the only 4 pieces of equipment we'll be able to use in the campaign, because they're the only 4 that like have a spot to really be on your armor permanently and to sit. So I don't know, just something to think about. Potentially we may never be able to use the repulsor in campaign. Number 16, the Hunters now have their classic Halo CE color scheme. Nothing huge, you probably noticed it yourself, but just a nice little touch. Very vibrant, very blue. I like it. The Hunters are like my favorite enemies to fight against. They're super, I love them. They're super cool. And just kind of seeing them with that classic color scheme as well now with like, you know, 20 years later with upgraded visuals, fantastic. I love it. Number 17, you probably already noticed this, you know, maybe you didn't, a lot of stuff was going on. The Jackal's shield blocks the grapple shot, but it does throw the Jackal off. So obviously, like, you know, it's, again, nice little attention to detail. I'd be kind of surprised if the grapple shot, you know, would pierce the shield and be able to grab the grapple or the Jackal, but just in case you missed it, just a nice little attention to detail that we would hope would already be obvious, but pointing it out just in case you missed it. Number 18, not one you probably missed, but I just want to take a moment as we're in like the middle of this list to like take your magnifying glass, toss it to the side for a second, sit back and just appreciate the verticality and the amount of playable space that there is in this campaign. Like, there are some shots in here where if you look around, you're like, that is all playable space. You know, like this, the player is flying around in a Wasp or a Banshee right now, but all this space that you're flying over is all playable. You could be driving a Warthog there, you could be traversing there on your own. And again, I know it's kind of annoying that there is no co-op campaign till about 3 months after the game is launched, but that is something I'm super excited for, is just to be playing this campaign with my friends and, you know, at any point be like, hey, you wanna race up this mountain with our grapple shots? Or yeah, just, I don't know. There's so much more fun to be had, and I think there's gonna be a huge amount of replayability to this campaign. I'm excited. Number 19, enemy bosses now have health bars. And I know that's gonna divide a lot of people, as I've already seen it has been. Some people are hoping we can kind of like turn that visual off. And I think that would be nice, because it's not exactly, you know, there's only so much that like a Spartan should be able to see with their HUD and through their visor, and you know, a health bar isn't exactly usually one of them. I'm kind of torn, honestly. Half of me doesn't care, half of me would be like, you know, for the immersion, let us turn it off. But I don't really have an opinion on it. It is what it is. But what do you think of it? Do you like the aspect that there are health bars, that you can kind of visually see how close your enemy is to dying, unlike Halo 2's end mission? Or would you rather it be a mystery and rather you, like, you know, keep putting blows into him and you're like, when is he gonna die? When is he gonna freaking die? I don't know, up to you. Number 20, the Brutes. I don't know if all of them do. It seemed more so like the more powerful ones or the higher ranking ones. They seem to have armor lock, kind of. There are some moments where Chief is about to like punch them and then they kind of like lock up and they put their fist up, and you know, he still deals damage to them. When he melees the brute here, as you can see, his shield does take some damage, but probably less damage than what he would have took if he wouldn't have done something like that. It's not gonna be like a piece of equipment, don't worry about that. But it's interesting to see they have this ability, or maybe it's just something that I don't know. It's interesting. It's weird, but we'll see how it plays. Number 21, fast travel is an option, which should have been obvious. I mean, I think we all kind of have an idea of how big this campaign and this world is gonna be. I would hope, for the love of God, I would hope fast travel is an option. And obviously, I don't think, you know, you're probably not gonna be forced to use it. If you're like, oh, I want the immersion, so I wanna travel from this part of the map all the way over to this one on my rinky-dinky wasp. You can do that. But again, fast travel is there for the individuals with very low attention spans, which is me. It's me. I'm not making it. It's all there. I fully, yeah. Number 22, there are 8 known different types of collectibles throughout each area. Seven, there's only 7. I think I stared at it and miscounted, so my bad. And as you could, you know, as you are, it very obviously could see when you watch the video, each area seems to have a certain amount of collectible items, and the only 2 that we truly know like what they are, we have Spartan cores and then we have skulls. So obviously skulls are back, like duh. Kind of weird if they made a Halo campaign without skulls, but we also know that this little symbol here are Spartan cores, and I'll explain how we know that in a few more points, but I don't know what the rest of the collectibles are. This one here looks kind of like an oven. And then going back to point number 9, the little piece of yellow intel is probably one of the collectible items in each area as well. Obviously, each area will not have the same amount of items and collectibles, yada, 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 you get that. But so far, at the very most, there are 7 different types of collectible items that we can try and get throughout each area to the max. Number 23, forward operating bases, or as you can see on the menu, FOB, can be captured. When owned, they can serve as fast travel hubs, rally points for UNSC Marine fire support, and provide access to vehicle drops, weapons, and weapon variants. They also reveal banished and UNSC activity in the surrounding region. These are points of interest that you can capture, and then you can use them to, you know, fast travel throughout the world. Just, you know, do everything that I just told you that they can do. Number 24, you can make upgrades to your armor/equipment using Spartan cores. And like we said before, Spartan cores are one of the 8 things that you can collect throughout the world. And once you collect them, you can then use them to upgrade your armor/equipment. So starting off, we do see a little menu of this. The player whips through it very quickly so he can upgrade his thrusters. But starting off, the grapple shot's first upgrade, again, like we said before, it seems to be the electrocution aspect, as you can see with the little symbol here. You know, it seems to be that. The next seems to be the cooldown, making it a bit, you know, smaller of a cooldown. That's probably the 1.5 seconds. It's probably 20%, maybe 25%, I don't know. So maybe the normal cooldown is 2 seconds. And we also have shield core. When you first achieve this, it increases your shield strength by 115% when acquired. So just 15% more effective. Unsure on the next 2, the symbols are kind of confusing. Second one seems to be linked to fusion coils, maybe? Maybe you're just a bit more resistant to them or something of the sort. Maybe fusion coils will just never, you know, drain or damage your shields. I don't know. Time will tell. The threat sensor upgrades seem to be on range, and the next one seems to be the ability to bounce the projectile. Drop wall has the upgrades be the duration of the wall or the deploy time, could be either. The next is what seems to be the strength of it, as we can see with the rocket blast. As you know, in multiplayer, the drop wall was made out of basically paper mache. In the campaign, it takes an entire rocket blast, and it's still fine, as you can see here. It's fantastic. We would have loved to have that. And then on the last one, the thruster, the upgrades it has are, the first one being it gives you a second charge, so you can use 2 of them very quickly. The next one is it reduces its cooldown by 20%. And then the next one, it adds extra power for further and faster travel. And then what seems to be the last upgrade is it adds a personal cloak effect to the thruster, lasting about 4 seconds after activation. You can see Chief upgrade it, and then he uses it. It's pretty dope, honestly. It's, again, like I'm liking the uniqueness to the upgrades of equipment instead of them kind of all just being very basic, obvious upgrades you would make to equipment. Yeah, just it increases the versatility of them, and gives you, again, more options as to how you want to enter the battlefield and leave it. Last point, it looks from, I wasn't able to truly fully tell, but it looks like it takes about 5 seconds for one thruster charge to recharge, potentially even after the reduced cooldown. And if by 20%, more than likely a normal cooldown is probably about 7 seconds before we are able to upgrade it. All right, number 25, the gravity hammer has gravity effects now, kind of, maybe, I don't know. I mean, as you can remember from the multiplayer, the gravity hammer was kind of lacking in gravity effects in the multiplayer, and now here in the campaign, it kind of looks like there are some. When he smashes the brute, he goes flying, especially for the brute's weight. He goes flying about 5-10 feet, and so maybe this is promising, I don't know, but time will tell, but just, you know, something to note there. Number 26, I found this interesting. It was a little bit confusing. Maybe I'm just tripping out of my noggin, I don't know. But the chief uses thruster pack without having it. If you look in the bottom right, it seems that he only has the grapple shot equipped and acquired. And then as he's being shot at from behind, he like turns and thrusters, as you can hear it, and then continues to shoot the elite. So I don't know what is going on there, but something to note. Number 27, the reticle never turns red during all of this combat, during all of this recorded gameplay. Never once turns red. I don't know why. There was a whole spiel about why it doesn't turn red on PC in multiplayer. I'm not gonna go into that, but it never turns red during all this combat. I don't know why. Maybe it's probably not like that big of a deal or to even really talk about or point out, but maybe something you probably missed. Number 28, this shot right here, and other shots, obviously, like all the cinematic shots we've seen are giving me a lot of hope that we will finally have theater in the campaign, because we have been asking for it for a very, very long time. Quite frankly, I feel like it's been like 8-9 years now, almost. Again, obviously, they have all the developer tools at their fingertips, so they could do this sort of thing probably very easily. But again, fingers crossed for campaign theater. Number 29, for those of you cool cats, again, you probably already noticed that, but for those of you who didn't, they kind of paid homage to Battlefield with this little move here. Chief did a little rendezvous with the Banshee here. He's first of all super high up in the air. When he gets out, you can truly see like how high he is up in the air, which is absolutely insane. But looks down with the skewer, shoots one of them, grapples the other, hijacks it, and just continues to fly off into the sunset. Number 31, the skimmers. We have a new enemy type. Obviously, we don't know if these are the only new enemies, but they didn't really give many details on, you know, what they are or what they do, but it's just little like, they're kind of very reminiscent of drones in a way. Hopefully they're gonna be less annoying than the drones, but I'm not holding my breath. But they're interesting. They're holding these shock rifles like upside down. They don't really know how to use them very well. They're playing around with what seems to be a monitor for the installation, and they're trying to like bust it up. As you can see, they grab this piece and like break it off, and then that causes one of them to maybe be spooked and like shoot the other with the shock rifle, which kind of sends them flying around. But I don't know, they're cute, but I would love to just bash their head in. Number 32, this one's kind of a small one. You know, we just kind of breeze on past it. Just this one little elite kind of Julio guy. He's got a sword and a metal arm. Yeah, nothing too important. Number 33, the Harbinger and the Banished share the same goal. We now know who the Harbinger is. This individual female thing, Forerunner, not a Forerunner, hates the Forerunners. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not gonna say it. I know some of you want me to say it. I know you're gonna be like, you know what she looks like, Josiah. You know what game the inspiration is from. I'm not gonna say it. I don't care. I don't play those games. I never have, never will. So I have no idea what you're talking about. But one thing to note is I'm really curious as to, she's teleporting around and then she like kicks Chief's shit in, but she's holding this little device after she teleports the second time in her right hand. It looks just to be like a hologram. I don't know if that's like the teleportation device she's using or if like that's what she's using to like charge up these punches. I'm not gonna really speculate anymore because my Halo lore really does not go very deep. I have no idea. I still really have no idea who Mendicant Bias is. I've tried to understand it. I'm gonna continue to try, but yeah, that's the easiest way of explaining to you how far my lore goes. So I'm not gonna speak anymore on this and try to act like I know what I'm talking about because I really don't. Number 34. If this isn't already obvious enough, well, somebody call up Dr. Disrespect because Halo Battle Royale is basically confirmed.
No, you need a Battle Royale.
That's what you need.
In order for this game to go longer than 3 weeks after launch, what is it? What's that? From a spectating standpoint, it needs to be on.
Anyways, I just wanted to throw that one in there. Just, you made it this far. Like, I don't know what else you expected at this point. Number 35, Ishiram has been updated, but not quite. He looks fantastic. As you can see at the end of this trailer, I saw some trailer reactions from people who like paused it to talk and they never got to the end of this trailer to see this. But for those of you who maybe were not aware, this is not an in-engine render. This is a pre-rendered look, but Unishek already confirmed that this is not an in-engine look at Ishiram like we saw last year, But still, just to point out, because some people I know did miss it, so in case you did, there you go. But regardless of whether or not it's pre-rendered or not, still looks absolutely beautiful and ugly. And the number 36 in the last shot in the distance, again, you can see the crashed Guardian way off in the distance. And I don't know if we'll ever be able to visit that or if we'll be able to have any sort of like objective with it or what that's gonna mean truly. But as Chief seems to be blowing up one of these giant floating buildings or things, I don't know. I don't even know if we'll be able to go inside them. We don't know much on them, but I'm really curious to know if it's gonna like topple over or do something, but time will tell. But anyways, that's about it. There's your 35 points, and there's a lot of sub points in the points. I don't want to hear anyone being like, well, it wasn't like a real 35 points, all right? I had a lot of sub points, okay? So just deal with it. If you're angry, go tell it to someone who cares, because I don't. Anyways, that is the list. I hope you enjoyed. I hope there was at least something that I was able to like show you that you hadn't seen before, but if not, hats off to you. If you want to see more, subscribe, like the video, comment anything that you might have found yourself that maybe I missed. Again, like if I missed anything, let me know. I don't care. I'll add it to the comment down below if I truly did miss anything. Brushing through this frame by frame only increased that excitement. But thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. If you made it all the way through, appreciate you. I have a Discord if you'd like to come join, be a part of the little Halo community, little sub community fan base. I also stream on Twitch Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 8 p.m. Central. Thank you. Appreciate you. Have a great day. My pleasure. Oh, hi. Yes! I'm just better. Holy shit. Oh my God, that was beautiful.